Howdy, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is 7th Gen on YouTube, bringing you some Citadel locations of some mid-tier battleships. So let's get started. So what's going to happen here, guys, is we're about to roll up to this Kongo. And we're going to take some shots off on the Kongo. We're aiming underneath the smokestacks. Generally speaking, this is where citadels are located. This is the engine room underneath the smokestack. We're going to launch a salvo here. And every time you do fire, you're going to have to pray to RNGesus, because sometimes dispersion is just not in your favor. And other times, you just don't know if you're going to get a penetration. Here, this first salvo, we get no citadels. We do a bunch of penetrations, though. Take 16,000 off. So we're, I don't know how many kilometers away, about 4 to 5 kilometers away. And we couldn't get a citadel. So there is definitely some luck factors involved there. But that is where you want to shoot. You do want to aim under the smokestack. What I'm going to do for this next salvo on this Kongo is I'm going to aim underneath this little structure that's in front of the conning tower right there. And maybe RNG, their spread, will help out. And sure enough, the spread helped out. We got the engine room. We may have even gotten a gun citadel. We got 2 on that salvo. And what we're going to do next is I'm going to be firing individual shots so that you guys can see a little bit more where the citadels are in terms of where I'm aiming. You are more likely to get citadels if you do full salvos. We'll show you guys that in a minute. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot underneath the gun turrets. That is another location for the citadel. In this case, this is going to be the magazines. So I'm going to try around here. We get nothing. I'm going to try another one. I'm going to basically keep shooting, and hopefully we can get one. Dispersion just screwed us right there. Aimed, did not hit. There we go, right there. We got a citadel underneath the gun magazine. And so that's the Kongo, aiming underneath the smokestacks, underneath that front piece of structure right in front of the conning tower, and also underneath the gun turrets. Those are all valid locations. Now, granted, these are stationary targets, so you are going to have to be, well, a little bit better in terms of your aim. Most people aren't just going to be sitting there. I do want to show you guys just kind of general locations, and also some of the luck that's really involved. So we're coming up on the Wyoming here, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to aim for underneath the smokestacks. We're going to aim for underneath the turrets, and I'm going to show you guys what happens when you get lucky and you do get a penetration, and the penetration happens to hit a critical part of the ship. So like the engine room, for example. So here we are. We're going to aim underneath. I'm going to move that over so I don't keep firing at this guy. We're going to aim underneath the smokestacks right there. We also have lots of gun turrets here, so lots of possibilities for citadels. So let's fire this off and let's see what happens. First salvo, nothing. Let's try another one. There's the citadel right there. We're aiming right underneath the smokestack, and we got a citadel on that second one. So let's try for a gun turret. There it is. Got a citadel underneath the gun turrets. And this guy is basically done. Let's try some citadels for the back gun turrets. Didn't get anything there. He doesn't have any HP left. Let's just shoot and see what happens. Nothing again. And let's try one more time. And yeah, no citadels. RNG was not on our side there. But you can kind of see the general pattern. You want to aim underneath all the turrets. You want to aim underneath the smokestacks, which is generally where the engine room is located. Engine room is another critical part of the ship. You can very reliably hit those areas. It's a little bit harder to hit citadels underneath the gun turrets simply because they're typically smaller. So the magazine is usually what you've got that you're aiming for there, and so they're actually much smaller. So what we're going to do is we're shooting at this in New Mexico next. And the New Mexico, I want to point out, the New Mexico is much better armored than some of these other battleships that we've just been shooting at, in particular the Wyoming and the Kongo. Kongo is very lightly armored. So the New Mexico is a very well armored ship, but you can get citadels, even only with the New York guns, or the Texas guns in this case. So we're going to aim for that smokestack right there. That is, in general, the middle part of the ship. That is where our citadel is going to be located. And we're going to aim right there, and we're going to see if we can get some shots off. And also, another thing I want you guys to notice that I'm putting the leveler right there at the water line. So there's Citadel right there. So I'm putting the leveler right at the water line. If I was aiming it higher, it wouldn't work out. And in a minute, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to try to get some Citadels on the front guns here. Didn't get anything. In a minute, I'm going to show you guys what happens when you manage to take your aim too high. Keep firing here. I had a lot of trouble getting shots to go into this New Mexico under the gun turrets. We did take out a gun turret. You can see right there that second turret is destroyed. We're trying to back turrets next. Yeah, just couldn't get anything. It's really the meaty part, the middle part of the ship. Most of the armor, from what I understand, most of the armor on the New Mexico is in the front and the back, and it's a little bit harder to get some of these Citadel things. You can't take out guns though. And again, we're going to keep firing, keep trying to get these Citadels. I'm just going to switch back to the middle part of the ship, dagnabbit, and see if we can get this guy finished off. No Citadel there. Let's try another one. Come on, baby. Give me a reload. There she is. There's the Citadel. And so usually what you want to do is, if you can aim for those critical components of the ship, you can do a lot of damage, as you can see. Full salvos are, in my opinion, preferable to these kind of ripple fire shots like you're seeing right here, because you have a full salvo, you have a lot more rounds, and you're going to see a situation where it's much better. So I'm just kind of pointing out right now the Miyogi. The Miyogi has actually a lot of Citadel areas. And what I'm going to do is, instead of shooting at the Miyogi for right this minute, I'm actually going to shoot at the New York, which is 9 kilometers away, just so you guys can see a little bit further, a more distant target. You're going to aim for the same general area, and you're going to try to hit underneath the smokestacks and underneath the gun turrets. So we're going to shoot at this New York next, and we're going to aim right there, right under the smokestacks, right at the water line. And he's stationary, so we're going to aim right at the water line, and let's send a full salvo, and let's see what we get. There we go. We got a Citadel. We took out his engine, actually. If you look and see, you can see the smoke coming out of that middle smokestack. We hit the engine room, is exactly what we hit, and we took his engine out. That can happen. This can happen against cruisers. This can happen against battleships. And so again, we've got gun turrets. We could aim underneath the gun turrets and try to get Citadels that way as well. So we're gonna try that here and see what happens. Send another full salvo. And 2 Citadels this time. Excellent. This is my favorite place to probably aim on the New York, is right there, right in front, right at that second front turret. It seems to, if you aim well and you have good dispersion and you send a full salvo, you tend to get potentially Citadels on the front and the back turret. So I'm switching over to the Miyogi now. I'm going to show you guys what happens when you aim too high here. So I'm not aiming at the waterline here. I'm aiming basically at the middle of the ship. And what you're going to see happens is I get no Citadels. I get some penetrations. I get about 14,000 damage. But I get no Citadels. And unfortunately, RNG was not on my side the rest of this clip. And even though I aimed at the waterline for the next salvo, I didn't get any Citadels. So that's just kind of the way things happen sometimes. This game, especially as a battleship, the game is very RNG dependent. There are a number of factors. Not just the dispersion roll or the generation, when the game generates how high your shots are going to go, how spread apart they're going to go. It's very tricky. It's very tricky. See, I sent another salvo there, and it just doesn't work out. Don't get any Citadels again on this guy, but hey, that's okay. It's not that big a deal, and we're going to finish him off, and game is going to end, and this is the last salvo. So this has been 7th Gen, showing you guys locations of Citadels. Again, aim under turrets, aim under smokestacks, try to hit the engine rooms, try to hit the magazines, and wishing you guys lots and lots of devastating strikes. Have a good one.